Good spell for El Paso, beginning to knock the ball around now, spread it left and right, getting creative around the edges of the box, and Monterey Bay having to work really hard defensively.
Calvillo again. Plays it out wide. It's played into the middle for Rubin. It was closed down at the right time. It ricochets out for a corner. Looked like Nico Gordon was able to get there just in time.
Okay, finding that space down the right-hand side. Good defending there by Gordon to block that, but just getting to the edge of the box. Momentum now, El Paso, and beginning to ask some big questions of the Monterey Bay defense.
Paso's turn from a corner. Some pushing and shoving. Robert Vince doesn't want to see anything like that. He pulls Nick Ross off to the side and Nico Cardona. And those two go back to doing exactly what they were doing already. From the corner, it was towards Rubin. Alfaro nearly had the chance as well. Smuggled away by Jackson. Couple of chances for El Paso, but they don't get a definitive shot away. Calvillo lays it off. Coronado. Gabby Torres. It's then touched out of play. It's a Locomotive throw. Torres again. Whips it in behind. And Monterey Bay had the numbers there in order to clear that away. Positive play and spell of play continues, however, for El Paso.
It's frustrating for Monterey Bay, having had so many good chances early on in the match. They're now having to really work hard to stop El Paso from scoring. The thing about these two teams is they've both conceded a ton of goals, 22 each of them, which is the highest in the West. The difference is the Monterey Bay have only scored 13 and El Paso have scored 23, which is also the highest in the West. So they've conceded a lot, El Paso, but scored even more. Monterey Bay have conceded a lot and not scored that many. So we're looking at the two very porous defenses, but so far the goalkeepers and defenders have been on top.
The only team in the USL Championship that has scored more goals coming into the night than El Paso is Lou City. As that challenge and decision goes against Nakamura and Monterey Bay. El Paso get the free kick.
Have a look there. It's a little bit late. Makes a connection, so when he turns around and says, it certainly is a free kick. You've got to be a little bit careful when you come in for tackles. Even if you win the ball, you're not allowed to follow through and connect with the player.
Or for some people, that's the best mascot in the USL Championship right there.
With the fish in the hair. Love it.
Trying to get the crowd into it here. They were into it for the first 20 minutes, but the El Paso possession has simmered down the Cardinale Stadium faithful here, at least for the moment. But Elijah Paul tries to lead Monterey Bay forward. He's had a really positive first half. Paul is double teamed towards the byline here, spins to try to get the cross in. It's deflected. It's going to be another bagel corner kick for the hosts.
Well, they conceded a couple goals from set pieces in midweek, Monterey Bay. Maybe they can turn this around and get the breakthrough from a set piece. They certainly have created enough chances, but this hasn't fallen for them as yet.
Leggett played it to the edge of the six. It's headed right back out for a throw. And Leggett, it looks like, will leave it for Omari Glasgow. And those two link up on the back end. They'll be forced to take it a second time. Thrown in towards the byline. It's kept in play. The cross is deflected. Paul tried to corral it. Flicked out for Nakamura. Nakamura trying to fend off the advances of Mendez. Either way, Monterey Bay are forced to play it all the way back to Jackson. Here's Garcia. Garcia up ahead, cut out by Gabby Torres. Calvillo over the top. Corralled by Avila. Back for Torres. Torres' cross is blocked into the air. It falls kindly for Monterey Bay, who hook it clear. Ahead by Nick Ross, that's cut out. Eventually El Paso settled it down at the halfway line with Chumasi. Torres again. Mendez assesses the scene, didn't have much to work with there. Alfaro back into the El Paso half, just over 5 minutes plus stoppage time left in the opening half. Coronado. Quezada. Fights to win it back. Heroin was fouled on the back end of that sequence by Glasgow. Free kick, Locomotive.
For their possession, El Paso, they're not really creating much in terms of dangerous opportunities. The XG is 0.09, which suggests that they haven't really tested Monterey Bay goalkeeper much. It's 0.62 for Monterey Bay. I'm surprised it's not higher. The chances they had in that first 10, 15 minutes. Hasn't been a single shot on target by El Paso. There's been 4 for Monterey Bay. Touches in the opposition box, 15 for Monterey Bay, just 3 for El Paso. Having said all of that, they've weathered the storm, and they are good enough to come and snake bite you and score from a situation like this.
Calvillo and Mendez stand over it. Had a similar free kick from this position earlier in the half, and no one was able to turn into a big chance. Calvillo delivers it. Too close to the goalkeeper, Jackson. Jackson's distribution sees El Paso corral it. Torres briefly lost it, but well, in the end, El Paso still get the throw. Coronado leaves it. It's nudged forward. Calvillo can't get there. Another good clearance at the El Paso half. Saidi was trying to track it down. Put pressure on El Paso here. And it leads to a takeaway. Garcia. Elijah Paul invites Glasgow into the attack. Leggett tried to flick it back into Glasgow's path. And in the end, Cardona is on the case for El Paso. But then he gives it away. Another chance here. Ross tried to slither it through, and in the end, Avila clears off the ricochet. Farnsworth now. A decent run out of that. Little layoff from Saidi. Up ahead from Leggett. Now Glasgow involved. Plays it to the byline. And it's fizzed across by Paul. Leggett was arriving, but the connection wasn't quite there.
See the frustration from coach Alice Cavello. Good position by Elijah Paul. And the ball's whacked across the front. To me, it's got to find a Monterey Bay player. You've got runners in the box. I don't know if it's meant to be a shot, but if it's a shot, it's off target. If it's a pass, it's not near Wesley Leggett. So it's neither one nor the other.
El Paso get the throw in the end on this near side. Well, the Monterey Bay Sirens return to Cardinale Stadium for the first time this season, Saturday, June 27th. Pleasanton Rage for Fan Appreciation Night of the opponents, presented by Boulevard Residential. For tickets, go to mbfcsirens.com. Monterey Bay are starting to create more and more chances towards the end of the half here. Saidi lays it off. Glasgow trying to fit it into a very tight window and finds the goalkeeper Romero.
That's interesting. Romero's been on the pitch almost the same amount of time that Moramora was. Moramora had 4 big saves to make. Abe Romero's had nothing to do. So it just shows you how it's either Monterey Bay have not been able to keep up the pressure, or more likely El Paso played their way into the match and started to get a little bit of control of the passing sequences.
That takes us into first half stoppage time. And there are 3 additional minutes to be played here at the end of the half. Not too many challenges there for Paul. Couldn't quite fight through. Ross. Also not able to find a teammate, but it's poor from El Paso. They give it right back. Nakamura switches the point of the attack. Glasgow to the byline. Glasgow into the middle. Touched clear.
What a lovely switch of play there. Absolutely brilliant by Nakamura.
And on the back end, Monterey Bay dwell on the possession. I think that was Saidi. Waited too long to make up his mind. Lost the ball. Commits a foul. And El Paso alleviate the Monterey Bay pressure on this occasion.
Just going back to that Nakamura pass about 30 seconds ago. Beautiful switch of play from the right-hand side to the left-hand side for Monterey Bay. Amari Glasgow bombing down the left-hand side. And there's nothing, ultimately, the end of it all. And that sort of sums up the first half of Monterey Bay. Tons of good chances, loads of opportunities. Yes, some good saves from Moramora, but just couldn't find that one little bit of quality that could have separated them from El Paso.
Glasgow to take the throw. And again, Elijah Paul finds Leggett. Sebastian Leggett trying to lead Monterey Bay forward. Cuts it back. Lovely little return feed to Paul. There's a couple of Monterey Bay players to aim at in the middle, but it's Romero who gets onto it and outlets. His distribution is really well placed as well. Avila did well initially, trying to continue on here. Keeps El Paso on the ball. Played up ahead by Mendez. And then a lovely ball into the penalty area, but it's a big, big defensive intervention. It sees Glasgow and Monterey Bay deal with it and clear it. But then the header gives it right back to El Paso. Another chance here at the end of the half. Coronado lays it off. Torres. Could El Paso have the last word here at the end of the half? Alfaro. Torres again. Trying to get in position for the return feed. Garcia wins a free kick. That takes us past the minimum of 3 added minutes. Robert Vince does take a look at his watch and confirms that time is up at the end of the opening half A half where momentum shifted back and forth a few times, but we still are at a stalemate, Gary.
It did really shift. What a fantastic opening 15 minutes from Monterey Bay. Only brilliant saves from Mora Mora kept the scoreline blank. And then El Paso played their way back into the match, started to create a lot around the fringes. Nothing really to test Jacob Jackson. And it ends with Monterey Bay slightly on the front foot. So hopefully it'll all come to life in the second half.
It's certainly well poised for the second 45 minutes. Both teams looking for a win to continue to jump up the Western Conference standings, but nothing to separate Monterey Bay and El Paso at the half in the USL Championship. We'll step aside, we'll look around the rest of the USL Championship when we come back. 0-0 at the half in Seaside. that Birmingham result. Jacksonville scoring home goals, but conceding too many as well. They're down 4-2 at home to the Battery. All the other games just kind of getting underway, no scores yet. All those other games are in the West.
Yeah, Sporting Jacks, 38 goals conceded this season so far. I think they're heading towards a record if they're not careful.
And by the way, that's by far the most in the USL Championship so far this season. Keep you up to date on some of those live scores as our game continues on as well. We'll take a break here. First half highlights and stats, and the second half kick from Seaside, California. It's all coming up after the break.
There is a ranch where we belong, where people believe in us.
world of good.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be a heartbreaker for them if they conceded off all the chances they had first half. Interesting stat, though, for El Paso. 9 of their 11 road goals, as that ball's cleared, 9 of their 11 road goals have been scored after the 60th minute. So to your point, if Monterey Bay don't get something ahead, there's every chance El Paso will towards the end of the game.
Quezada was closed down by Omari Glasgow, and the shot not only goes wide, it goes out for a goal kick.
Just something that I think might need to change for El Paso second half. Their touches in the opposition box, just 3-17 for Monterey Bay. So Monterey Bay were very direct. Once they got near the box, they got into it and they threatened the goal. And whereas when it came the other way around, El Paso would get close to the edge of the box, cut back, bring it back, play it around. Didn't really threaten that man there, Jacob Jackson.
We saw in the halftime stats for El Paso, decent amount of possession, but 1 shot in total and none on target. Another coming together there. Free kick for El Paso, again Nakamura. Not pleased as it's gone against him here. Alex Mendez needs a moment for Los Locos.
Important player, Alex Mendez, created the most chances for his team, 18 in total. Puts him joint 18th in the USL. So, a player who again hasn't stamped his authority on this match. We haven't seen much of Rubio Rubin, and he's sitting second in the Golden Boot. It's been very quiet so far.
Foul and a free kick, and again it goes El Paso's way. Saidi this time perplexed. To be fair, Rubio Rubin's a bit unlucky not to be first. It took literally a historic performance from Darren Smith to push him down to second place. Scored 5 goals, which tied a league record for 1 game. Last time out, away to Sporting Jacks. Detroit City striker from South Africa, Gary. I'm sure that brings a smile to your face.
It certainly does.
Yeah.
I think with Rubio Rubin, though, he was at the top for so long. I mean, the first sort of 7-8 weeks, he was so far ahead. 8 goals in that period, and sort of struggled since to do anything around the goal. Although, to be fair, he did set up the winner, or the goal against Phoenix for the draw. He did set that up in the last match with a lovely little bit of skill, and got the ball to Alex Mendez, who finished it off. That was created by Rubio Rubin, but it's been a while since he actually scored 4 games ago against Lexington. Was his last goal.
Beto Avila forced to check that down. Near side, Cardona. And then the aforementioned Mendez all the way back to Chumasi. Romero under some pressure here. Coronado with Ross on his hip. Paso continuing, trying to play their way out here. Monterey Bay this time cannot keep them in their own half. Torres, Calvio. Couldn't help it along. He goes down. Feeling the contact there. Referee allows play to continue, and Farnsworth clips it up ahead. Glasgow tried to feed it down this near side. Out of play. Torres misjudged that. Leggett swiped it away from him, but El Paso are still able to collect it as Romero clears their lines. And it falls kindly onto this near side. Calvio, time and space. Early cross into the middle. Held up by Rubin. Torres invited back into the play. Cardona forced back over the halfway line. A decent spell of possession for El Paso, but again, nowhere near creating those clear-cut opportunities that they'll need in order to try and snatch away all the points.
You almost feel like it's possession to sort of tire the other team out or sort of strangulate them, take the passion out of the game. That's a bit better, it's a bit more direct from El Paso.
Quezada sneaks that through. Calvillo plays it across. Right on cue, definitely more positive from El Paso. They'll settle for the throw. Cardona tries to follow up on it. Leggett battling, dispossessed. Calvillo. Mendez. For Torres. Torres into the middle. And the diving header by Avila is saved by Jackson. That's El Paso's first shot on target of the night.
It wasn't a bad effort. Goalkeeper deals with it very comfortably in the end because it goes to him, but a good diving header, and it's a good effort to get it on target.
Monterey Bay bringing up the other end. Numbers arriving here. Saidi! Wasn't a million miles away, though it did look like Romero had it read.
Looks an exciting player, Saidi, just 18 years of age from Tunisia. It's such a pity he doesn't get the opening goal. I think for all neutrals watching this game needs somebody to score, especially the home side, because that gets the crowd fired up and it'll force El Paso to have to come and get on the front foot a little bit more.
So it's just underneath Saidi's boot there. That was a chance for Monterey Bay to maybe break very quickly. It's a bit of a lackadaisical feed that's picked off. Elijah Paul settles for the throw-in for Leggett. And he'll leave it for Glasgow. So right into the middle. Oh, the layoff from Paul to Leggett. That was a clever idea. It doesn't come off, and it'll end up being a goal kick to the visitors.
Just looking through the subs benches, and there are options certainly to bring on some fresh legs. No players you think can come on and win games as such, no sort of star players returning, but maybe some fresh legs for the home side. Omar Joseph, Adrian Revelar has been around the club for a long time. Maybe they can come on and see if they can bring a bit of sparkle and extra energy. You've got Diego Abitia for El Paso and Ricky Ruiz, for example. Again, players who, especially Abitia, has got a couple of goals. His goal per minute ratio is actually one of the highest there is. So, possible changes for the coaches.
Oh, Elijah Paul ruffling a few feathers here on the El Paso side of things. Coronado and Quezada giving him a push or two on his way to the penalty area. Another look.
Trip on the back of the heel, and then they're holding the ball away, and then arguments. But it's not a bad thing necessarily, especially if you're a coach looking on. You want your players to be getting a little bit upset, especially Monterey Bay players who I think deserve to be in the lead given the chances they've created. They're at home in front of their fans. They want to show a little bit of spark and a little bit of desire to win this game. A little bit of extra desire. They're showing desire, but a little bit of extra desire, a little bit of fire in the belly.
Another free kick for Leggett to take. Must have a short option, but there's plenty of teammates lined up, one of whom has just hit the deck on the edge of the area. Robert Vince is going to have to take a couple more players aside here for a brief conference, one of whom is Chumasi, who is on a yellow card, doesn't need to really get involved as much in the extracurriculars. Has to be careful. Saidi was also summoned.
Has to be on the other side. Yeah, he said he didn't really, he said it didn't matter.
Ball in by Leggett. Good bend on it. El Paso there first to clear. It's hooked away by Calvillo. Vasco does push Avila in the back. Junior Gonzalez wanted a foul there.
I think our cameraman got a good header in. And he gets applause for it.
Get a bonus.
Rightly so.
Heading the ball. That was me.
Lovely bit of technique.
They applauded.
Monterey Bay could do with some of that finishing at the moment.
It's always difficult when you're the home side. You want to please the crowd. You want to keep the good run going that they've had, especially at home.
Avila, that was a dangerous ball, floated into the penalty area. And Locomotive will get a corner as we approach the hour mark.
And
When they get dangerous, El Paso, we mentioned this stat again, 9 of their 11 road goals have come after the 60th minute. They seem very good at this, sort of controlling the game or bringing the pace of the game down, and then towards the end they take it up another notch and get that winning goal.
Another chance for Locomotive from a set piece. It's Fizz towards Alfaro, who does get a header onto it. It's laid off for Calvillo. It's a poor layoff. Calvillo forced to retreat, but keeps it alive for Cardona. This ball back into the middle is headed high into the air. Avila trying to get on the end of it. He gets there, gets it away from Leggett. Stood up again into the middle. Comes out for Coronado. Calvillo switches the point of the attack. Out wide for Mendez. Mendez spins out of harm's way. Finds Calvillo. Shot is blocked. Coronado gets it back to him. Calvillo again for Coronado to the byline. Garcia tries to stand him up. Kicking away at it. It may have come off Coronado there. Referee, though, says it did not exit the field of play. Now it does. And Los Locos get the throw after quite a 1v1 tussle. From the El Paso throw. Played in for Rubin. Alfaro. It's clipped nearly back to the halfway line for Torres. Clever little run here from Mendez. Back to him! Oh, and it's off the outside of the post! Oh, that was a luscious Locomotive move. Mendez hitting the outside of the frame. Arguably the best chance Locomotive have had all night.
Oh, absolutely the best chance, and what a good run. 1-2 strike, comes off the outside of the post. That's just brilliant from beginning to end. Good interplay, other players knowing exactly where you are for the 1-2. So unlucky not to score, but that is their first real chance. And what did we say about the 60th minute?
It was nearly bang on. But here comes Monterey Bay. Elijah Paul, maybe one too many step-overs. Runs out of real estate, goal kick.
El Paso, goal kick.
As they drop points here today, Monterey Bay, they will look back at certainly the first 20 minutes and 4 great chances, but a number of other opportunities in the box. They started half-time again. They've been in the box so many times, Monterey Bay, without anything. El Paso barely went into Monterey's box at all. So they didn't create a lot until now. When you create that many chances and you don't take them, it's such a frustrating feeling to have as a team, as a coach. It can still change though, there's still a third of the game to go.
Nearly taken away there from Coronado. El Paso do well to rally around it. It's out of play for a throw. Make sure you get all the latest Monterey Bay FC gear. You can do so by visiting mbfcshop.com to get your gear today. Another good crowd and good atmosphere here at Cardinale Stadium in Seaside. They have been a bit anxious at times in this second half. Monterey Bay have come so close time and time again, and now El Paso are starting to create more and more chances. Game is still very much on a knife edge. Lovely feed here onto this near side for Omari Glasgow. Omari Glasgow cuts infield and goes for goal. And quite literally sends it over everybody's head and towards the parking lot.
Everything he did was so good up until that final shot, the run, the breakout of defense, the ball to him, and then his run. Yeah, he's just going through the way he should have hit it. I don't know if it jumped up on him, but have a look. He cuts inside here. And then just when you need to stabilize it there, the ball was bobbling and he gets right underneath it and skies it over the bar. Always think from that situation, you want to be thinking, hit it low, because as long as you hit it low, you're giving the goalkeeper problems. The moment it goes high over the bar, no problem for the keeper.
Now then, Rubin, waiting for more teammates to arrive. Avila! Oh, off the crossbar again! Foul and a free kick for Monterey Bay as El Paso hit the frame yet again.
That is such a good strike. The ball, I think, was meant for Rubio Rubin, but Beto Avila gets it, turns, and just whips it onto the crossbar. Have a look at that. Turns and bends it, and goalkeeper Jacob Jackson is getting nowhere near that if it drops us under the crossbar. So now he's hit the crossbar, and then in the first half, we had that wonderful shot there from Omari Glasgow that thundered against the crossbar. So I guess both sides are now had their opportunities and come close.
It's moments after Alex Mendez hit the outside of the upright as well. It's been at that end tonight. The crossbar and the post are getting quite a workout.
This is a problem for Monterey Bay, though, because both the best chances in the second half have gone to El Paso. Weathered the storm first half, and as they've done so often on the road, they grow into the second half, good at controlling the ball, and now good at creating chances. Only thing missing is the finishing touch for either side.
Referee waves away any foul appeals there. El Paso again. Bring it into the Monterey Bay half. The layoff for Avila. He shoots again. And this one's more comfortable for Jackson. Farnsworth up ahead. Ball tried to turn, has to settle for the throw with just over 25 minutes plus stoppage time left in Seaside. A win for Monterey Bay could potentially take them within 2 points of the playoff line in the Western Conference. For El Paso to potentially move back into the top 5 and maybe even be on level points with the likes of Oakland and Tulsa. We're starting to get towards the top 3 in the West at that point.
And the thing with this win is that for Monterey Bay, they want to get back onto winning ways after their midweek defeat. They were looking so good, they don't want to lose that momentum. For El Paso, they have to turn around a really bad run and hope to get back to the way they were at the start of the season. So there's a lot at stake in this match, not just the 3 points, but the confidence that it will bring.
Quesada tried to stand up the cross. Foot race on the back end is won by Leggett, just ahead of Torres. And then Jackson clears it upfield. El Paso are getting more and more confident on the ball as the minutes and seconds tick by. Well, that is a bit of a loose pass. Cardona back for Romero.
Starting to wonder when the substitutes will start coming on. Like I said, there's no natural match winners on the bench, but you are getting a few tired legs. Maybe more from Monterey Bay, who because El Paso has such a good sort of possession side, you end up chasing a lot, trying to get the ball off them. There was a lot of high press early in the match, so just wonder whether some fresh legs for the home side might not just invigorate things for the coach there, Coach Alex Covello.
Cardona's ball into the middle is hooked away. Mendez then miscontrolled it, allowing Leggett to get Monterey Bay back in possession. Wesley Leggett leads the hosts forward. They don't quite have the numbers. Leggett is caught up to by Mendez. As he goes down, taking a little bit of a nick on the way through. Torres checks on him as the ball bounced out of play. So that is another El Paso turnover. Haven't had as many of those in the second half as they did in the first. Farnsworth for Glasgow. Leggett for Paul. Paul to the byline. Still Elijah Paul here, fended off the initial challenge. Back for Glasgow. Glasgow whips it into the middle, nobody there. And it's corralled by Romero, uncontested.
Was the ball just asking for someone to run onto it? They looked a little bit static in the box, Monterey Bay. When that ball's played, you'd think there'd be a couple of runners trying to get on the end of it. Instead, they just all stand there and look at it as if, well, it's not coming to me, so is it worth the effort? But I don't know what's missing up front from Monterey Bay today. They've had a ton of chances, but not that little final bit of quality to finish them off.
You mentioned this earlier, Gary. Look at the bench for Monterey Bay. Stuart Ritchie, Adrian Revelar, Belmar Joseph, Eduardo Blancas, Georgi Lamtadze. Some chance creators in there, not necessarily chance finishers, but to your earlier point as well, Monterey Bay just in need of fresh legs, more energy, a little bit of a burst, potentially off the bench, but Alex Covello hasn't peered over his shoulder just yet.
Yeah, they have to do something. You're the home side. And you want to keep this good run going. And all the chances you've had first half must be at the back of your head thinking, surely we're not going to lose this after all the great opportunities we have. And to be fair, fantastic saves by Mora before he got injured. So you would think that they'd bring on some fresh legs fairly soon. I mean, the same could also apply to El Paso. Maybe some tired legs there. They've got a bench with a few really good players on, Ricky Ruiz and Vitia, for example. I think if I'm a coach, I want to bring on some fresh legs just to see if they can find a way through. Rigo Rubin's played so much soccer this year that you sort of wonder whether after his fantastic start, he's actually not feeling a little bit sort of tired and lacking energy up front. Maybe it'd be a nice thing to bring him off and bring Diego Abitia on in place of him, someone who's a bit bigger and more direct.
The final 20 minutes still to unfold here in Seaside. Monterey Bay win the ball back. Leggett kept the ball, but the referee says he committed a foul in the process. Leggett is adamant that he gets the ball here. Robert Vince is convinced he didn't.
There's a Jet on the ball. I mean, again, he wins the ball. Does he catch a bit of the player in the process? Have a look. Perhaps he does, but he's also going to be entitled to go for the ball. It's a difficult one, and referee's just trying to make this game a safe game for the players. So he has blown up a lot of fouls against both sides. And he's kept a very strict eye on any dodgy tackles. So if that's his style of refereeing, Mr. Robert Vince, then fair enough, as long as he's consistent, which he has been.
Here's Calvio. Trying to knife it through Monterey Bay's defense. It's laid off. Jackson will clear it. Currently onto this near side. Back up by Locomotive. Reset with Cardona. Alfaro. And that is given away. Leggett. Leggett to his right, plays him in. Leggett trying to dash to the byline. Stood up by Gabby Torres. And Torres does very well, wins a goal kick.
So I'm over here on the north side giving you guys some love. I need you guys to give me some love.
Frustrating for Leggett
What do you say?
and everybody up front for Monterey Bay.
Anthony?
Again, you go back to those chances in the first half for Wesley Leggett. Saved by Mora. Mora hammered one right at him. Elijah Paul header looked like it had crossed the line, and Mora just caught it out. And then the save from Anise Saidi with his right arm, I think it's going to go down as one of these saves of the week. Certainly should be. Be surprised if there's many better saves than that this weekend.
Monterey Bay get the free kick this time. Now Beto Avila gives his 2 cents to the referee. There is a Locomotive player down, away from the action here. We're told that Junior Gonzalez's bench was stirring a bit. There's potential changes. Just a moment ago, I wonder if this might put a bit of a wrinkle into that. You can see there Omar Mora is being prepared by Junior Gonzalez here. I wonder if he may have to make an amendment to that. Looked like the player that was down there was Alex Mendez for El Paso. Now Mendez is able to sit back up.
It's a good opportunity for everyone to grab some fluids.
Well, meanwhile, Monterey Bay will make a change here. Eduardo Blancas is going to come in to replace Wesley Leggett. Blancas certainly a player that can create some chances. Very good on set pieces, I should add as well. Change brought to you by BBSI. It's Monterey Bay's first change of the night.
Yeah, not surprised to see it now. That you have to do something in your Monterey Bay. The onus is on you to be on the front foot, trying to do something. Now, Paso also got their changes to make.
Alvaro Quezada is going to make way. Omar Mora will take his place. Now the BBSI substitution as we wait to see if Alex Mendez is okay for Junior Gonzalez's men.
Alvaro Quezada. Entering the match, number 28, Omar Mora.
One or two words of encouragement from Junior Gonzalez to Quezada on his way out.
Come on, Omar!
Mendez comes off for the moment, but may try to give this a go.
All right, a change on either side, so let's see if that affects the game in any way. Certainly when you come on with that extra little bit of speed, extra freshness, you do have an advantage that if you can get on the ball, you can expose the opposition.
Leggett will win Monterey Bay a bagel corner kick on the near side. El Paso will want to get Alex Mendez back in if they can, try to even the numbers here. Even Romero is trying to get some of the El Paso players in position here. There was no one marking inside the 6, and then the corner, well, goes over everybody's head anyway, I should say. It's going to be a goal kick.
Those corners have to end up more in the middle, but I'm always surprised that there isn't a player sort of floating at the back post, ready for the overhit. You always have somebody at the near post for the underhit, one, and then at the far post. So that's just, unfortunately, a waste of a corner for Monterey Bay.
Another El Paso player is down, away from the action here. Eventually, the referee gives Locomotive the free kick. Beto Avila is the player down.
There's your favorite mascot. Slowing the pace down from El Paso here. Now, it could be a genuine injury, but they're a very wily team, El Paso, and they just know how to take the sting out of games and change the energy and slow it down and then suddenly speed it up again. They are suggesting that he got hit in the face, though. Eric Calvillo making the case to the ref.
Again, the bench stirs a bit for El Paso. We have been keeping an eye on some of the other games going on around the USL Championship. We mentioned that game going on in Jacksonville, the Charleston Battery beating Sporting Jacks 5-2. As the tough beginning to Sporting Jacks' life in the USL Championship continues. They're still in search of their first win. Halftime in Vegas, it's a 1-1 scoreline between the Lights and Orange County. Feels like Devin Rensing's side have been turning a bit of a corner as of late. Halftime in Phoenix, 0-0. Phoenix Rising and the Oakland Roots. Ryan Barton's side in desperate need of a positive result there. 30th minute in Sacramento. No score between Sac Republic and Dennis Sanchez's New Mexico United, who are also trying to get back into the top 8 in the Western Conference. Although, as we mentioned throughout the night, it's so tight. One result could make a massive difference as of this point in the Western Conference playoff chase, and there's still half of the season to go.
Beto Avila's got some sort of cotton pads and swabs up in his nose. He's suggesting he got an elbow in the face, hence I presume the blood from the nose. But he's tough. He'll be back on.
It certainly feels like the tempo and the pace has become very stop-start these last few moments. There's still 10 minutes plus stoppage time left for someone to find a winner.
Hey, we're good. Hey, we're good.
Cardona tried to push it into Mendez's path. Nakamura dribbled himself into trouble and gives the ball away. And the ball played in by Mora is touched away by Nick Ross. On the follow-up, Mendez. Cardona sneaks it through. Mora into the middle, headed high into the air. Calvillo tries to win it. Paul and then Leggett. Able to play it further up ahead. No foul, says the referee. El Paso are back on it. Gabby Torres. Calvillo lifting it over the top. It was kept alive. This far side, Torres again. Gets it away. Way up to the edge of the area. It's swept into the middle. And it's to nobody in particular. Out for a goal kick. Watch the USL on ESPN2, June 24th. Really good matchup in the West with valuable points at stake. Colorado Springs take on top of the table San Antonio. Wednesday, June 24th, just a few days from now, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It's on ESPN2. Glasgow. Tried to feed that into the middle. Finds the side netting.
He's had quite a second half from Mari Glasgow. First half, got some good runs on that left-hand side, and of course that shot that struck the crossbar from 35 yards. But even this one here, when he does get forward, the cross is off target, goes into the side netting, no danger at all for El Paso. They just haven't really got going in the second half, Monterey Bay. Not the way they did, certainly not the first 15 minutes of the first half, and now an error.
Mora So the byline here, plays it across. Again, it's just behind the intended target. Elijah Paul for Nakamura, who sends it up ahead. The hold-up play by Saidi. And Blanques track it down. Garcia takes down Gabby Torres. That's a free kick. Saidi also down at the end of the play.
Wonder if it's cramped with young Saidi, 18 years of age, just in his second match for Monterey Bay. 13 minutes against FC Tulsa midweek, so this 82 odd minutes is a much bigger strain on his body. Holding the ball up there and maybe took a knock in the back of his leg, or it's just the overall stress of 80 minutes of tough football, and it has been. It hasn't been nasty. It really has been physically tough for both these sides.
A reminder as well, Monterey Bay have 4 substitutions they can still make. El Paso have 3 as well. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but in some ways, this game is kind of crying out for some fresh legs. It does appear that Monterey Bay are going to bring on Stuart Ritchie, and he will replace the aforementioned Saidi. BBSI substitution. Ritchie came over to Monterey Bay from Knoxville, where he won the league and cup double last season. Players Shield regular season crown, and then USL League One final title as well. Mora trying to fight his way through there for El Paso. It comes through for Avila. His shot was deflected. It's out for a corner. 6 minutes of normal time left. Jackson trying to make sure all of his teammates are well positioned. Alex Mendez lines it up for El Paso. Did score the last time Locomotive were here in Seaside back in March. That was off a free kick. We provide another definitive moment against Monterey Bay from a set piece. Coronado is over there as well in this near side corner. They're asking for some of the Monterey Bay substitutes to move out of the way here. Asking the referees to get involved there. There has been some extracurriculars near the referee as well that Robert Vince is trying to also manage here. Ball is delivered in, headed high into the air again. Flicked out of the 18-yard box. Mora tries to track it down. Gets there first for El Paso. Ross is looped back into the middle. There's a Locomotive player down as Nick Ross volleys it away. Referee will stop it for a possible head injury.
To be fair, the player went down right away and hasn't got back up, so you think that yes, it's Beta Avila. You can tell by the cotton wool he has in his nose, and it seems like he's got his left ankle caught. But there were bodies going down everywhere in there. Now they're saying you've got to get a substitute on for him. There has been a lot of stop-start, a lot of injuries, a lot of players have taken knocks, especially for El Paso, going back to Mora in goals early on. Having to leave the pitch.
Well, you have to credit Beto Avila. He has certainly battled. Here's the last sequence.
It's actually his own player who falls into him and catches his ankle. Now at that point, there were 2 bodies down in the ground, and then another one's about to fall there. So, well, we hope he recovers quickly. He has been Definitely one of the better players tonight, but he's taken a feral knock. When he wakes up in the morning, he's going to have black eyes, sore ankles. He's going to know he was in a game.
He has battled his way through these 87 minutes as we get a lovely look at the seaside sunset here in California. The good news for these two teams is that the sun has not set on the match yet. There's still 3 minutes plus stoppage time. And it looks like Memo Diaz. He's going to come on for Avila here for El Paso, another ESI substitution. Memo Diaz, who did play 28 times in the league for El Paso last season, just his third league appearance of this campaign. Has played a couple of times in the Cups this year as well, most notably in Prinks Tires USL Cup. Haven't seen him as much this year to this point, but could he come on and be a difference maker down the stretch? We will see. Here is Stuart Ritchie. Glasgow, dispossessed. Cardona. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Calvio. Torres. Gets it back on that far side. Chumasi. Faro. Monterey Bay fans starting to boo Gavi Torres every time he touches the ball for some reason. Alfaro again, Mendez into no man's land, won back by Nick Ross. Can Monterey Bay take advantage here? Nakamura gets it back, but it's won back by Memo Diaz. Then Ross slides in, gets Monterey Bay back onto it. We're into the 90th minute. Another El Paso player down, but play's allowed to continue on. Ritchie again. Slices through the lines. Nakamura returns the favor. Ritchie up ahead to Glasgow. And Glasgow is dispossessed by Mora. Chumasi clipping it ahead. Header by Farnsworth, who follows up. Ross then clips it ahead. Bit of an awkward jump, but Elijah Paul comes out with it for Monterey Bay. How much stoppage time will there be at the end here? Nakamura. Leggett. Nakamura tumbles away from the play here. Glasgow for Leggett. Leggett into the middle. Over everybody's head. Tracked down and kept in play, and then it slides out for a Monterey Bay throw as we enter stoppage time. 6 added minutes to go in Seaside.
By the way, lovely cross. Get on the end of it.
Another ball into the middle. It could fall for Paul!
He deserves it. He had chances in the first half, and he had much better chances that didn't go in. This one didn't look like it was a good chance initially. Ball gets knocked up in the air. It's allowed to bounce, which is dangerous if you're the home side. And as they were all stood there waiting for it, he gets up. A shot in the back, Cardona, but gets away with it there. But the strength to get up and head that right in the top corner. What a fantastic header. Wasn't a great chance, but he made it into a great moment for Monterey Bay, and probably well deserved, given how many good chances they had in the first half that they didn't take.
third league goal of the season for Elijah Paul. One of the few players that was brought back to Monterey Bay after last season's overhaul. Just scored an incredibly clutch goal and has Monterey Bay all of a sudden in the box seat for all the points.
What it does mean for El Paso, if this result holds, is they're just barely on that playoff line. There's a whole bunch of results coming through that could see El Paso drop to as low as sort of 8th and barely in the playoff positions.
In the live table, to your point, Gary, El Paso would drop to 8th. Monterey Bay would be within 2 points of 8th. Still sitting at the bottom of the table, but that's how tight it is in the West.
If you've gone back after sort of 7 or 8 games at the start of the season, El Paso had virtually won them all. They were way top of the league, and Monterey Bay had won nothing, and they were at the bottom. And now here they are, potentially, if this result holds, only a few points separating them.
Alex Covella wants to bring on more defensive reinforcements here. Leggett is going to be sacrificed. And Kelsey Egu will come in. Another BBSI substitution. Try to help Monterey Bay hang on to the points. That's hooked back into the middle. Oh! A collision inside the 6, and the referee does see that. It's going to be a foul and a free kick from Monterey Bay as El Paso look to try to win the header ahead of Jackson.
Big ball looped into the box. As the goalkeeper's trying to catch it, he gets challenged. Rubin coming a little bit late. He might have caught the leg of Jacob Jackson. There has been a lot of injuries, a lot of tackles flying in, a lot of free kicks. It's been a real stop-start game, especially in the second half.
Farnsworth will put this back into play. 2 minutes, maybe a little bit more left to go. Clipped up ahead by Diaz, and then a miscued clearance by Farnsworth. That might invite more pressure from El Paso Locomotive. Cardona. All the way back, Chumasi, Alfaro. Coronado. Gabby Torres. Gliding to the byline, stands it up into the middle. Egu's header away. El Paso, they had a chance to win it back, but Nakamura smashes it into the Locomotive half. Romero well off his line. Another hopeful ball up ahead. Monterey Bay headed away through Ritchie. El Paso running out of time. This long run without a league win may very well continue. Calvio. Paso still have a chance to rescue something from the game, however. Coronado. Whipped in by Mendez. Egu is there again. That's why they brought him into the game. Cushioned header for Glasgow. And Ritchie clears it away. Anywhere will just about do for Monterey Bay. One back for Elijah Paul. Monterey Bay, if they hurry, could have some numbers here. Paul smartly takes it into the corner. And Monterey Bay gets the throw as well.
And you get applause from the crowd. They're doing the right thing. Take the ball into the far corner. Slow this match down. Seconds away from getting another vital 3 points.
The throw-in is cleared away. How much more time will El Paso have here? Torres. Calvio, this could be the last roll of the dice. Down that far sideline, one back by Blancas. Again, booted well into the El Paso half. And the header allows Paul to take up some more time. Referee looks at the watch. And that'll do it. Full time in Seaside. Another massive win for Alex Covello's Monterey Bay. They keep on pushing towards that Western Conference top 8. A late stoppage time winner from Elijah Paul sends them wild in Seaside, and Monterey Bay continue to be a factor in the mid-season playoff chase in the West. It's a massive late goal. It's a massive 3 points.
It certainly is. Brilliant performance by Monterey Bay. A ton of chances early on where they should have put this game to bed. The coach is going up there to, I don't know, see family or friends or just get a hug or whatever it is. Just say thank you to the fans for turning up. But if it wasn't for Mora Mora, this game would have been over.